Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned into Neek at Night. And this is an update to the original video that I did about the trophy wife who basically branded herself on being a trophy wife and taught other women how they can best find them a trophy husband that's going to pay all of their bills and take care of them. Now, stuff is hitting the fan. The niece of the husband has come out, and all of this chatter that has been going on and people asking her for proof, she has been radio silent and not responding to anybody about where the proof is of this, allegation that she is saying that her husband had did. Now, the niece came forward and spoke out, and she ran to the internet and responded to the niece. So I have all of it, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of the updates and all of the information and all of the things. There has been so much that people have put together. And since everybody has been piecing this together, trying to figure out like really what's going on, she has completely scrubbed her YouTube channel. Now, before she had all of these videos where she talked about this advice that she would give women, and she had live videos up where she would teach girls how to snag a rich man and all of that. And so since people started to carve through the videos looking for answers because she left the situation so vague, and this is something that I talked about in my last video. I'm like, once she posted the video and once I got done watching it, I was left with a million questions like, is he in jail? Is he charged for this? Like, what happened to him? Is he like, are the girls in a situation to where he can't harm them anymore? Like, it left so many questions for me. And being that the video went viral, it left so many questions for other people. And she was so vague with the story. People went searching for answers for themselves. And once people started to dig and search for answers, they started seeing, and the narrative started to change on whether or not she willfully was neglectful in this situation. Now, if this is true, obviously this doesn't take any of the blame from her husband, but people started to question whether or not she was willfully neglectful. They started watching her videos where her daughter was crying in the background, saying, ow, 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 to her husband, and she's just putting on her makeup. She's talking about how, like, oh, if you hear something in the background, don't worry about it, like, just ignore it and all of that. And so in the midst of her begging for money on GoFundMe, people started to turn on her. So when she seen people started to turn on her and they started to question her, she scrubbed every video off of her page except for the one that's going viral, that's making her all of the money, and except for one live video. So she only has she has 3 videos now because she just went live 20 minutes ago. So she just went live 20 minutes ago showing a piece of paperwork of her protective order. And we're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into what the niece had to say. We're going to get into her response to the niece. We're going to get to all of that in a second. But first, I have to lay the story out as I came across it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just jump to the niece because the niece situation just happened a couple of minutes ago. And there has been so much more stuff developing before that. So be patient. We're going to get to what the niece had to say. But y'all know I have to walk y'all through all of the receipts, and I have to walk y'all through the story. That's just how we do things around here. If you want to get to the meat and potatoes a lot quicker, then go somewhere else. But yeah, that's that. So anyways, so let's pull up this video where a person on TikTok, so a person by the name of Glee O Long, they went through a bunch of her videos and they clipped a lot of videos that were very concerning. Now, after they clipped a lot of videos, they went in detail and dissected so many of her videos. So I took clips from TikTok, and then I edited my video to make all of the clips that they put together to be one seamless video. So just a quick warning for anybody who is a victim of being touched or anything like that. The next video that I'm going to play is a video of her basically doing her makeup, and you can hear her daughter in the background crying, and she's just not moved by it.
I definitely understand it being hard because I stayed in situations much longer than I had to because I had children in those situations. So I understand the struggle of that, definitely. But you know, there's that saying, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's when you'll make a change, and that's very true. So it's just all about whenever you have the courage to do that. Sorry if my house is noisy in the background. I don't know how much you all can hear, but there's so many of us that it's just like that. So if you hear stuff in the background, just act like you don't.
And apparently that statement was enough for people to start pointing the finger towards her. And a lot of people started to, once they start seeing these clips stitched together, they started to question whether or not that was her sentiment of the protection that she had for her children, the sentiment of, oh, act like you just don't hear it. And a lot of mothers hearing that kind of was ringing alarm bells for them, because the mother and me, I'm a mom, and the only people that live in my house is me and my daughter. It's just us two that live here. And my daughter is 11. She's not a baby. But when she was 2 years old, 4 years old, it's just the instinct in me that at that young, any little cry, any little thing, like I'm like alert, like what's going on? What's happening? You know what I mean? What's going on? And then fast forward to my daughter being 11. Now, I could be all the way in my room, and if I hear a thump or a thud or any sound that doesn't sound like a regular, like walking by, like I'm like, what's going on? What's that? What's happening? I'm on alert. I'm getting up, like I'm waking up out of my sleep, and could be like laying down, and if I just hear any sound that sounds off or anything, like I'm hopping up, like what? So a lot of people, when they heard that and she was like, oh, just act like you don't hear it, they were like, wait a minute, has this been your attitude throughout this?
That's when you'll make a change, and that's very true. So it's just all about whenever you have the courage to do that. Sorry if my house is noisy in the background. I don't know how much you all can hear, but there's so many of us that it's just like that. So if you hear stuff in the background, just act like you don't.
I showed my baby sister video about dating. If you guys can hear my daughter, she's upstairs with my husband being cranky, so I just don't know how he was able to get away with it and so sneaky, because with my own trauma, I watch my kids like a hawk.
one of the downsides of a man fully providing for you. If they have control, they're going to utilize it. So that's something to be aware of. If you don't want any of that, then marrying hypergamously is just not going to be for you, because they will
Mama, come see.
Want to keep an eye on things and make sure that, you know, you're not out entertaining some Dusty with on his dime. You know, they're gonna monitor. All men would be like this if they could be, but Dusty's, you know, they can't.
Mama, come see some banana.
Mommy's talking, baby. Can I see on the iPad in a minute?
Okay.
All right, thank you. So yeah, it's just kind of part of the life. But no, they're not. If you think that they're just gonna be like, yeah, spend however much money, however, and go wherever you want, I'm not even gonna be worried about it. They're not like that. That's not even a man's nature to be like that. Not at all. The only time a man is like that is because he can't control you, because he's not providing for you. And it's not to say control you, but it's more of a like, one, I think it's a protection thing, but two, it's they paying the cost to be the boss, and that's what they're gonna do.
All right, so this is a picture that she posted. It says where it all started. My husband thinks his Cartier glasses are cool, but to me they look like they belong to the Migos. All right, so this video, this was a snapshot that somebody captured as well. And this was a post that she had posted to Threads. And it says, "Hey, trophies, my husband and I celebrated our 4-year anniversary the other day. And here is one important tip that I've learned that can benefit many feminine/masculine relationships. Tip: trying to be right will never get you the response you're looking for. When I tried to argue my husband down about why my opinion, choice, point of view is more correct than his, the more he wants to be it. I guess she was saying, like, the more it makes him want to be right even more. Releasing the need to be right, in turn, softens your husband's heart and makes him want to see you pleased." So she's basically saying, instead of me having thoughts, feelings, and opinions and voicing them, let me just make him think that he's right all the time, so that in turn I can be pleased in other ways. I don't know. That's what it sounds like. Anyway, so then they were showing how she started this GoFundMe account. So let me go to where on her community tab to where she started this GoFundMe. Now, this is what her page looks like now. You guys remember when I showed you guys her page the first time, and there was all of these videos on her page, and I was like clicking through the videos and I was showing you guys different videos. Well, right here, like I was telling you guys, she scrubbed her videos. She scrubbed her page clean. So there's no extra videos. So under video tab, this is the only video. And under, wait a minute. Wait, she took the lives down. Literally just took the lives down. But you know what, girl? You ain't dealing with no rookie. You ain't dealing with no rookie just that fast. Within 15 minutes of me going live, she had just went live. She had just went live and she clapped back at the niece. And it was under the live tab. Now she took down both it was 2 videos that was under the live tab. There's no live tab anymore, meaning that she took down both of those videos. But guess what? Before I went live, I said something about this make me feel like she gonna delete this video. Something about this made me think she gonna delete this video. And guess what I did? Downloaded it. I downloaded it. Before I went live, I made sure I downloaded the video. Girl, you ain't dealing with no rookie. Girl, you ain't dealing with no rookie, girl. Before I went live, I said, you know what? Before I go live, let me download this video just in case she deleted. And true enough, I'm over here. We ain't even made it to that part of the video yet. We have not even made it to that part of the video yet, because I'm saving that part for the end once I go through the GoFundMe and go through different parts. I just noticed, like, girl, what? Let me refresh this again, girl. No, she did. She done took the live off. Anyway, so she done scrubbed her community tab too. Child, she done scrubbed everything. That I just went to her community tab and there was posts all down her community tab. She just scrubbed her community tab, which I ain't gonna hold you. I think is good because you're going viral and all down her community tab. I wasn't gonna go all through her community tab because it had tons and tons of pictures of her kids on there. And I'm not, I'm not gonna expose her children at all. But Isis, I think that is good that you took all of those posts of your children down, because you took away their privacy. So anyways, let's get to the GoFundMe. So 2 days ago, she had posted, "I can't begin to express what it's meant to us. And for those who wonder why I did this, I was left with no other option. If you feel compelled, please donate to helping us start over. Anything helps." And she put a GoFundMe link. So on her GoFundMe, she put the video that's going viral on her GoFundMe. And then she also posted a message. She said, "Hi, thank you for even clicking this link. Please donate if you can. A little from everyone could go a long way for my babies. Thank you for the support during this difficult time. God's not done yet." And she got donations. This Porsche person, or this Porsche A person, donated $4,000 alone. And then, there's hundreds and fives and 20s and all of that from other people that amounts to $7,523. So when she had posted that she had this GoFundMe, there was a lot of people who was against her coming to the internet with this story and then immediately making a GoFundMe. There was a lot of people who did not appreciate her making this GoFundMe. They were like, wait a minute, you bragged about being a trophy wife. You bragged about having all of this money. You bragged about being spoiled. And you've been doing TikTok. You've been doing YouTube. You built a whole brand. Like, your videos going viral. Like, why are you immediately putting up a GoFundMe? So people started to have questions, and a lot of people started to drill her about the police report. A lot of people were like, where's the police report? Where is the evidence that he's in jail? Where is the proof that he's being handled legally? There was a lot of questions of people basically asking those types of questions, like, and there was people who supported her, and there was a lot of people who were fully in support of her as well. They were like, don't question her. She's a mother. This is sad. Help her rebuild. He left her with nothing. She has to start over. So there was a mixed mash of people in the comments. There was people who supported her, and there was people who felt like it was odd that she was making a request. So let's go back to the video and finish out. So
met my husband, I was like, I'm actually attracted to him. I don't know if this is going to work. But he actually ended up being a good guy. So you can have a man that you're attracted to that also treats you like a queen.
The less you weigh, the more he'll pay. Okay? So the bigger the age gap, definitely the better. And you wake up in the morning, you need to be figuring out how you gonna lose some weight today. Okay?
He had genuinely really connected with my kids, and he was not the kind of man that was just be nice to them to get to me. Like, it was very genuine. And that was one of the things that I really loved about him. That was something that stood out about him versus the other men that I had dated, was he really embraced the fact that I had children because he wanted children. And
do you need to not eat anything and do a water fast for the next 3 days?
or in the blink of an eye, and I'll look back and they'll be like in their 20s. You guys can probably hear my 1-year-old down there playing with her dad. She has such a high-pitched voice that carries everywhere.
Ladies, keep up with your eyebrows, okay? Like, I know some of y'all are not keeping up with plucking your eyebrows, and you're just filling your eyebrows in and putting some concealer over those extra hairs and thinking nobody can see. Honey, minus 10 points. We can see it. It's not, the concealer is not taking the hairs away. We see the concealer on top of the hairs. Girl, keep up with it, okay? So
my first ring was 10 grand, so it wasn't a super expensive ring. And the ring I have now is 20 grand, but I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm like, all right, I'm ready to upgrade. When I met him, but the first car he bought me was my Porsche. That was our first Christmas together. And before that, he already had a Range Rover, so that's what I drove when we first got married. So I just drove the Range Rover, and then I picked up my own car. What do you think? Is it good? And since then, I have quite a few cars. It's easier to get my husband to buy me a car than to buy me a handbag. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. I drive all the foreigns. The foreigns are for me. Our family vehicle, it's like a big body Mercedes. That's the one that we typically drive if it's like all of us, because it's a 7-seater. He will drive that when we go out as a family. But if he's by himself, he's just going to drive the truck, and I'll drive whatever car I'm in the mood to drive. But to be honest, I'll typically just drive the Mercedes because that's just the car I'm used to driving. And it's high, so with me having heels on, I don't have to like get too low. The Porsche is very low, so I'm typically never going to drive the Porsche in the wintertime because it's just too much. And he bought me an X5 for, what birthday was that? My 26th birthday. I got an X5, and I don't really drive that one as much since he bought me the Mercedes. So that one kind of just sits.
I'm still, whether you like me or not, I'm still going to be rocking Chanel and driving a Porsche. So rocking Chanel.
My 26th birthday. I got an X5, and I don't really drive that one as much since he bought me the Mercedes. So that one kind of just sits.
I'm still, whether you like me or not, I'm still going to be rocking Chanel and driving a Porsche. So
all right, so this was her response in the comments, because people were wondering, like, okay, so this person that she replied to, I guess, was showing her empathy, but there was other people who was basically saying, like, okay, well, if you have this Porsche and you have this $10,000, $30,000 material items, then why can't you sell those items and make your run, start over with your life? So this was her basically clapping back and thanking the person who she was responding to for having empathy. And she said, thank you for your empathy. This man has done everything to break me, drained the accounts, cut off my cards, cut off the internet in the house, turned off my phone, had the family vehicle stolen. I've had to apply for food stamps. My children and I are struggling. I hate to even feel the need to justify help for 5 children after a situation such as this. People are people. So this is what she responded to somebody, because like I said, she's thanking them for their empathy, but then she's also like clapping back at all of the people who were just like, girl, where's all these material things? Like, sell them. And this was her way of like letting other people know that, oh, he stole everything from me. He stripped everything from me. And because he stripped everything from me, like, I even had to apply for food stamps. And so I'm like, wait a minute, this just happened. Like, literally just happened like a few weeks ago, she said. And you telling me you already saying that you applying for food stamps? I don't know. Like, it's a sad situation. If anything happened to her daughters, my heart goes out to the little girls. But some stuff just makes you think that if certain situations are deeper than what they appear. Because to me, that just sounds, I mean, yeah, if you're broke, yeah, you're going to apply for resources, of course. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it's because I'm fortunate to have a village. I don't know. I have a mom. I have a family. So even if I needed to, I guess, eventually get on food stamps, I don't know that I'd be on it that quick because I would be, you know, transitioning. I really don't know. Everybody's situation is different. But just the fact that she kind of mentioned that, it just seemed like it was just a little extra razzle dazzle to pull on the sympathy card. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, yes, a mother gotta do what she gotta do. Yes, you gotta do, you know what I mean? And there's no shame to a mom getting on food stamps. There is no shame in using government assistance if you need it. But it just seemed like she was adding just a little extra razzle dazzle to really like lay on the sympathy extra thick. I don't know. That's just me. It was just like, I don't know. It's weird.
Oh. If you hear my kids in the background, they're with daddy.
You can easily click off if you don't agree. And to be honest, I really don't care who doesn't agree, because at the end of the day, I really don't have to be doing this. I don't have to work. I'm still, whether you like me or not, I'm still going to be rocking Chanel and driving a Porsche. So, you know, was that earlier today or yesterday? Like, oh, I could never date an older man. I can never date a man that doesn't have any swag. Why are you here? Why are you here? You are not ready. You are not going to get this lifestyle because you don't deserve it. So, as we know, most men don't prefer to date women that have already had children with somebody else. But if a man sees a woman who is a single mom being such a great mom, then it'll make him a lot more likely to reconsider dating someone with children. It's actually super sexy to see a woman mothering her children well and creating a beautiful family environment. Don't get caught looking dry, okay? Because if I catch you
I want to pause her right there, and I want to point out that there are some men who will take on your family, and there are some men who are great stepfathers, and there are some men who are genuine and, you know, loving the mother and taking on the responsibility of being a stepfather. But then there also are the men who deliberately prey on single mothers so that they can have easier access to the children. So just beware and just be cautious that sometimes it's not about, oh, it's so attractive, that you're such a good mom. Like, I just want to be with you because you're such a great mom. Sometimes, anyway.
Family environment. Don't get caught looking dry, okay? Because if I catch you looking dry, -5 points. No, minus 20 points if you're looking ashy. You don't deserve to be a trophy if you're looking ashy, okay? Men pay attention to these things. Another thing I noticed, women, if you have arm hair, look at your arms right now. If there's hair on your arms, shave it off. Go upstairs and shave it off because that's looking real masculine.
I guess I look real masculine because I have never in my life shaved my arm hair. I guess I'm looking real masculine because, but in my, I guess, defense, I don't know, my arm hair is not really that hairy, but I just never shave my arm. So it's looking real masculine over here, baby, and we is all right.
It's looking real crazy. Shave that arm hair off, please. Please.
So those clips, I weaved them together and I edited them all together, and those clips can be found. I think the person on TikTok, Glee Elong, wait, is it Glee Olong? They had like 1 minute clips put up, and they had a bunch of like 1 minute clips put up. And so what I did was downloaded all of the clips, and then I put them all together in this 8-minute video so that I could share it with y'all. So anyways, so what's next? Oh, so the niece came forward. So a woman who is alleging to be the niece of the husband came online, and she basically stated that she made a very defamatory allegation. Okay? And before I play what the niece had to say, I want to say, number one, just like I wasn't there in that household, I'm only observing what we see on the internet or whatever. The niece wasn't there. Okay? The niece was not there. She doesn't know what happened behind closed doors. She doesn't know if something genuinely happened to those little girls or not. And she cannot vouch for her uncle in a way that she is claiming to be 100% certain of what went on in their household. So I can say that. Now, what she is doing is relaying, I guess, a story that she was told. Now, I don't know if the story is true or false. I don't know if the husband basically said, hey, this is, made up a story in his defense. Or I don't know if that's really what happened. But if what the niece is saying happened, that still doesn't clear the husband. Even though I have questions about ISIS, at the end of the day, I'm also I'm a devil's advocate type of person. I'm a very objective person. So even though my eye is raised on ISIS, don't mean that you could just feed me anything and I'm just gonna go with what you say because you say what you saying. Because what you saying make your uncle to me seem suspect still. So what the niece basically said, and I'm going to play what the niece said as well, but this is alleged. All of these claims are alleged. The claim from ISIS against her husband is alleged and the claim from the niece is alleged. There has been nothing verified, and I am not asserting that any of this stuff is true. This is just a viral story, and I am just simply sharing what she was responding to, because Isis went live. She has now deleted that live, and luckily we caught the live. But anyways, since Isis responded to the niece, I'm sharing what the niece had to say. And look at here, y'all. I still got the live. Look, I had the live up in a separate video, a separate window. I don't even want to refresh it or touch it or anything, because if I touch it, all of the comments that was on the video gonna go away since she deleted the video. But I already had this up in a separate window. So we're gonna go through the 100 comments that loaded before she deleted it. Okay. Got that on standby. Hold on one second. Let me pull up what the niece said. Sorry I'm dragging it out, y'all. Hold on. All right.
This is Dee. This is the niece of new trophy wife's husband, and she comes to tell a totally different story. She too, when she was younger, was abused as well, and now she's defending, and I'm not saying, she didn't say by who, but now she's defending the uncle. I mean, now she's saying it's the son, the new trophy wife's son did this.
All right, and this is from Eternal Sunshine 77 on TikTok.
Now, how do you know? How do you have proof of who did what to be so confident that your uncle did not?
The trophy wife's husband. And my name is Dee, and I am the niece of the trophy wife's husband. Now, I know you know who the trophy wife is because she's been going up and down my timeline for the last couple of days. Her name is Isis, or Paloma, which is her real name. This lady is completely insane. Let's just start from there. Background story. Her and my uncle got together really quick. From what I've been seeing and what I've been told, she thought that she was getting a come up with my uncle. But then when things didn't go her way and she pretty much seen that she could no longer hide the things that she was doing behind closed doors, she ended up trying to find a different route, which was to come on here and lie to you all and tell you that her daughter had been touched by her dad, which that is not the case. Her daughter had been touched by her son, and she didn't want anybody to know because she wanted to try to make it seem like my uncle was the bad guy because she wasn't getting what she wanted in the divorce.
Oop, what?
This is
Darn it, what did I do?
Her daughter had been touched by her dad, which...
All right, I was trying to pause it. So anyways, why did it go like this?
This is Dee.
All right, there we go. Sorry, y'all. So anyways, so I wanted to pause it because if your claim is that it was the son, which is a wild assertion, which would make me think, where did he get that behavior from if that's true? If that's true, where would the son learn it from? So to me, when I heard that didn't clear the uncle. Not to me. Because kids repeat behavior that they see. So the sons ain't that old. What are they, like 5, 6 years old or something? So where would they learn it from? So if I was the niece, I would have let my uncle defend his damn self. He's a overgrown old man, and he could defend himself.
Woman would allow. I am a victim of sexual, or whatever you want to call it. And I don't appreciate one bit of the accusations being put out there, especially not just because they're fake, not just because that they're out there just for clout, but because of the fact that this involves a family member of mine who I care about dearly. Multiple family members, if you want to put that out there, because the kids are my family too. The boys are somebody else's. The girls and the last baby are a part of my family. And if they're being harmed in any kind of way, I definitely would want to stand up for them, for sure. But her son is the one that the baby first initially said that was touching her. My grandmother was changing the baby one day, and she seen that it was red down there, and she...
When they say changing, every time they say 4 years old and they say changing, are they changing a diaper? Is the 4-year-old in diapers? That part is not clear. Like, even her saying my grandmother was changing her, is the 4-year-old in diapers? Or changing her how? Because even the mom said this. The mom's story was she realized what happened because she was changing the 4-year-old. And now this person is saying that the grandmother realized because she was changing the 4-year-old. But I'm just thinking, like, is she in diapers, or are they like changing her from like bathing her and then changing her clothes? Like, I don't know. But either way,
said that her brother did it. Now, when they went to court, the court did not believe what she was saying because Paloma had already ISIS had already put out a case against my uncle because my uncle was furious when he found out that her oldest son was touching the girls. So he went out and tried to, seek help to figure out what he should do about getting her son away from the...
This is Dee. This is the niece of new trophy.
All right, so they only had a quick like 4 minutes of it. I don't know where the rest of it is, but what I will say is this. I don't put it past a woman to make up an allegation, an egregious allegation, to muddy the waters in a separation. And I don't put it past a husband to put the battery in family members' backs to make up an alternate version of the story to save them. Now, could it be possible that the niece is just fabricating the story and she's just making it up? Maybe. And could it be possible that the ISIS woman is putting something out there in the air, and the reason why she was so vague and the reason why he's not in jail is because there's some muddy waters as to the validity of the story? Now, if there is muddy waters and it's not clear that this was an allegation for the husband, and there was something that first was an allegation of the son, then it was the husband, then to me, that would make sense why he's not arrested. Because there was nothing else that made sense as to why he's not arrested right now. I'm wondering if he messed with 2 kids, why he not behind bars? If there's evidence, you went to the hospital, they did a test, and they figured 1 + 1 = 2, and it's the husband, then why is he not in jail? So, in my opinion, it's so much vague information out there that it's hard to know what's what. It's very hard to know what's what. I don't know because he's not arrested and I don't see an arrest report. Now, when the woman went live and she responded to the niece, she did show paperwork of a protective order. Okay? And so in the protective order, she flashed it on the screen. And in the protective order, it said that there was an allegation of a situation with her 4-year-old and 2-year-old. And they had enough evidence to grant a protective order. And being that she deleted this video, I don't know. Let me before I flash it on the screen, let me make sure no personal, hold on, let me see. Okay, the case she put up, hold on. All right, I'm not going to share the case number, but I'll put this part. Hold on. Because if she exposed the entire case number. She exposed So when it gets to the part where she shows the paperwork, I'm not going to show the whole paperwork part. Just because she deleted it off her page and I don't want to expose the case number and all that, but I will show you. I'm going to just put an overlay on that part when she shows that part. So let me back up the video. So this was her
There's
response.
the case number.
Oops. This was her response to the niece. Hold on. All right, let me move myself over. So she titled the video, oops. Hold on. Oh, there we go. So this is what she titled the video that she quickly deleted off her page. So this is what it was titled. The niece is his lion mouthpiece. So she said the niece is his lion mouthpiece. That's what she titled her video. But because she deleted this video from her page, we're just going to go to the downloaded video that I downloaded. And we're just going to watch the downloaded video. Let me pull up the overlay so that I can have that ready for when I want to cover the case number and all of that. All right. Let me get this in position. All right. So this is what she posted in response to the niece.
Hi, everyone. I couldn't get on here fast enough. I couldn't get on here fast enough when I heard people are trying to blame my son. I couldn't get on here fast enough. Couldn't get on here fast enough. I thought I heard someone who I've never met in my life coming on here trying to blame my son. Someone whom I've never met in my life trying to come on here and blame my son for the sick and disgusting things that my daughter's father was doing. This is not a game. This is not a game. How dare you? How dare you blame this on an innocent child? You talk about you got proof? You have proof? I've got proof right here. Right here. Show me.
Oh, hold on. I don't want to accidentally show the case number.
Your paperwork. Show me your paperwork. You talk about I am saying something different than when I was in court. Honey, you weren't even there. Seen you in my life. It's not very good. Oh my gosh. Y'all want to see my protective order? Y'all want to see my protective order right here? I'm going to cover my daughter's name. I'm going to cover my daughter's name. In the case of a vulnerable adult and a minor child, a relative, there is a preponderance of the evidence to believe that the respondent committed the following acts of abuse. Statutory abuse of a child. R word or a statutory S offense. Father has been coming into two-year-old and 4-year-old daughter's rooms and SAing them. This is from the judge. There's the case number. It matches the records. There's the proof. There's the proof. There's the proof. I'm done. That's all. I'm done.
All right. So she had that video up on her page for about 20 minutes. And within 20 minutes of her having it up, I downloaded it. I was like, hold up. She might delete this off of here. Let me hurry up and download it. And so I hurried up and downloaded it. And then by the time I went live, she had already deleted it off her page. So I pray for protection of those little girls. I pray that everybody gets the healing that they need. This is a very complicated story, but this is what happens when you bring certain details to the internet. Especially when you bring such serious allegations to the internet and you leave it very, very vague and it goes viral and it makes people want to dig for more. And I feel like, you know, the length that people are digging may be a little bit too far, but she has to understand that the way that she did her video, it made a lot of people have a lot of questions. It was like, wait, huh? Wait, what happened? So she left it on that cliffhanger. And to me, in my opinion, I felt like she was setting up for a series, you know, to keep this going and going and going. And it backfired. Now, if this is her story, she wants to monetize on her story. I don't have an issue with her monetizing on her story. That's her life. It's what she went through. And if she want to make coins off of it, I don't look at her any type of way. But the way that she set up the story, and she left it on a cliffhanger, which to me seemed like it was a cliffhanger so that she can leave the people, keep feeding pieces and building on the story and running up the check. It backfired, and it made people look for those missing pieces of the story and try to figure this out, because some of it, from what she said, it's like, wait, huh? It left a lot of people like, wait a minute, hold on, let me see what else is going on. You know what I mean? So unfortunately for her, it backfired, and it's turning into a mess. And at the end of all of this, the kids are in the middle. The kids are thrown all over the internet. There are so many people sharing her kids' pictures. There's tons of pictures of her children all over TikTok. And now her kids' faces are attached to this. And this is going to go with them for the rest of their lives. And maybe, in the heat of it, in her emotions, she probably didn't think that far. She didn't, she couldn't have predicted that this would go viral or anything like that. But now these kids have a form of a big privacy invasion of them. Her sons are online, her daughters are online, and all of that. So let's see if she scrubbed her TikTok, child. She's on a scrubbing spree. So this is her TikTok, and I'm scared to refresh anything because she is scrubbing stuff like crazy. Oop, okay. All right, so this is her TikTok page. So she built a following on here. Her name is Isis Morales 888. And let's hit the open and new tabs just in case she didn't scrub some stuff.
All right, ladies, let's talk about 5 signs you're dating a dusty. So first sign is he has asked you to borrow money. Now, this is a sure sign that your man is a dusty. Real men would never stoop so low to ask a woman for money. Second sign, he may not have asked you for money, but he depends on you financially. So if you all live together, then he depends on you to help pay part of the bills, as in he depends on you to help pay part of the rent. He depends on you to help pay part of the car note, part of the car insurance, or any other necessities. Third sign is he's super fine. Now, ladies, most men that are super fine are dusties. And the reason why this is because men that naturally look good, as in they have good height, they have a very nice face, nice body, these men don't feel the need to work as hard in their career and becoming successful because they naturally can attract women based off how they look.
What if we flip her advice and put it to women? Like she's attractive, she looks good. Would that mean that she's a dusty by her definition? She looks good. She obviously got with her husband for what he can provide for her. She talks about how she's spoiled. And she talks about how she doesn't have to work, and she has her Porsche and she has her Chanel. Like, by her definition, would that make her a dusty? I'm just trying to figure out. Anyway, so that's just like some of the content. So she has a lot of views on these videos. So that video was like almost 400,000. Then she has several like almost 1 million. Let's see what this she's talking about feminine hygiene. So let's see what this dang it. What is going on? I don't want to click it the other way. I don't want to mess up nothing. Oop, I don't want to show our kids. What the heck? Why is it not letting me open it in a new tab?
All right, ladies, let's talk about 5 reasons why he doesn't see you as wife material and probably won't. The first reason is, and I feel like I'm gonna have to say this every video because this is the main problem. You out here busting it wide open. Close your legs. Some of you ladies are out here pH balance off, smelling like tuna for a man that hasn't even paid your cell phone bill, that hasn't even taken you to dinner since ever. Okay? Stop sleeping with that man. The more you sleep with him, the less he wants to marry you, okay? You're selling yourself short. Hey trophies, so I wanted to come on really quick because in my last post, someone mentioned something about how they noticed that attractive men are typically the ones that are more successful, and I think that many women don't know how to identify what a successful man actually looks like. A lot of women think that just because a man drives a nice car or a man dresses nicely that he is successful. And I'm here to tell you that that is one of the furthest things from the truth. In fact, a lot of men who are very successful, you really wouldn't even be able to tell based off of the way that they dress. Those men typically do have nice cars, but if they were to walk up to you in a store, they're going to look like the average.
All right, so she ain't scrubbed. Oop. The picture is gone that quick. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? She is scrubbing her social media, y'all. It was just a picture here. Y'all remember I said I didn't want to click nothing because I didn't want to mess up nothing? And I clicked the video and went, it wasn't letting me open a new tab no more. It wasn't letting me open a new tab anymore. So I started to, I said, forget it. Let me just start clicking the videos. I clicked the video and come back. She done already took the picture off of her page. Oh my gosh, she finna delete all of this stuff. Y'all better hurry up and go download. I'm not about to download her. I'm not about to download her TikTok. It is what it is. She is scrubbing the internet. She's watching my live and she's scrubbing stuff down. Why is it everything I say I'm about to click on, it disappeared from her page? Am I tripping? Am I too full of myself right now? I said I was about to, I went live and I told y'all, okay, like we finna get to her video. And then the live was gone. But she didn't know I already downloaded it. But then I never mentioned that I was gonna go to her TikTok. And then in real time, y'all just seen, now that I'm on her TikTok, I click a video. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna leave it alone because this is a serious topic. This is a serious topic. My heart goes out to her. My heart goes out to her. And I just know I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. What? I'm not crazy? That was just a picture right there. I'm scared if I refresh, what's going to be gone? Hold on, let me refresh. Oh, now it's back. The picture back. Is she playing with me? Wait a minute. She playing with me. Now the picture is back. I'm not about to play with y'all. Because then I'm going to start feeling like I'm crazy. Now I'm about to start feeling like I'm crazy. What is happening right now? Oh my God. Oh, my God. I don't know. I don't know if it's the internet or if I'm tripping or what is happening, but I just feel like I don't know what's going on. Y'all saying it's my internet, but I be on TikTok all the time. People profile pictures do not be disappearing. They profile pictures do not disappear suddenly when I click on something. Anyway, this is her TikTok. We're not going to go through no more. We ain't going to go through no more. But I pray that somebody said you're tripping, child. Let me know any other time I've been live clicking through somebody's TikTok and the picture disappeared, child. Anyway, I just wanted to bring y'all the story. What do you guys think about it? At the end of the day, like I said, I feel like these children are at the center of this. And I don't think that the story is going to end there. I think that the more that she hides, the more that she scrubs stuff from the internet, the more it's going to make people pry and want to attach themselves to the story. Now, if the niece comes out today, I wouldn't be surprised if more family members come out tomorrow. And I wouldn't be surprised if we actually hear a statement from the husband. I'm sure that now that the niece has spoke, now that she has responded, let me go back to her page because now y'all got me feeling like I'm tripping. Let me go back to her her YouTube page because hold on, because I know I'm not tripping, child. Okay, she still got everything scrubbed on her YouTube. Her YouTube page is still, she still got the live deleted from her YouTube. But, this was the original. So let's look at some of these, comments. That's what I told y'all. I told y'all we was going to look at the comments. So before she deleted this live, I had it open in a separate tab while I was downloading it. So let's look through some of these comments and then we'll be out. Let's see what some of the people were saying. Somebody said the internet is a scary place. I'm sending you and your children much love, sending lots of love. You are an amazing mother. How can people be so cruel to blame her son? These people blaming your son, who is a victim as well, are vile and shows you how many monsters and trolls slither around in places where people are in pain. This person says people on the internet are very weird, and if anything, they're happy to see you in this state and to know this has occurred, which is absolutely disgusting on their part. You're an incredible mommy and human to have left with your babies and are starting over the best way you know how. Nobody lives in a perfect life, and we've all been blindsided by someone we've trusted. I am praying for your healing and supporting your journey. This person right here says, we believe you, send in love. I believe you. I'm sorry that you're experiencing this. Someone says, your original trophies know the truth. You are a good mom. Real trophies know you are a good woman. I am in tears. The internet is so cruel. This person says, sending you love, dear. The most horrendous situation a mom can go through, and people making up stories or in denial should be more than ashamed. We believe you. God, please protect her and her loved ones. This person says, sending you and your children, especially your baby girl, lots of healing, thoughts, and love. Stay strong and beautiful. This person says, baby girl, I feel for you and I'm with you 100%. I think that you handled things right when you got out the house and you waited till your son got home with your then husband. I feel your pain and I'm praying for you and your children. Try not to let people on social media upset you like this. Although you have every right to be filled with anger, disappointment, you may have to take a break from social media and care about yourself and your family so you can heal. This person says, cruel world, you don't deserve this type of and then this person says let's see, you already know people are out here. That could have been one of his friends or something. Focus on yourself and your kids. I'm sorry. Wow, the nerve of people, shaking my head. They shouldn't be doing anything but praying for the family. I'm sorry, hun. You have to endure this. And then people said that they were sending her love. And then people said that they were praying for her and her babies. And then she deleted it. So I can't refresh it or anything, because it will go away. It will click off. So this is some of the live messages from when she was live. This was like the live chat. Okay. And yeah, all of that. So this person, what is it? Caribbean says, why not in jail? So people were questioning her on her live, asking her why he wasn't in prison. Peter Cottontail also was like, why isn't he in prison? They're asking her for his name. They're telling, I could scroll on some of these comments. Hold on, y'all. Could scroll on some of these. Okay, hold on. Child, I'm able to scroll. Child, that's the good thing about having it in a separate window, child. Okay, so let me see. What can we get? Okay. Okay, you are so strong. I'm sorry for all the hate. I hope you're feeling better. This person says, hey girl, hope you're doing all right. Forget the haters. This person telling her to log off. They're reacting in real time about her talking about the sun. Somebody else is telling her that Shara7, is that the sprinkle girl? Shara7. They're telling her that Shara7 is talking about her. Let's see. So Amber was asking her, are you going to put him in jail? people saying that it was messy. So they're in Maryland. They said that it's a very toxic marriage in the case search. Are they in Maryland? Ooh, what the girl Shara said. What did the girl Shara said, y'all? Anyways, so if I refresh, that's gonna go away. Let's see. Let me see if I could see what Shara said. Hold on. Shara 7 trophy wife. Ooh, this is the first thing that let me see.
Meant to be smart.
Okay, so this is what Shara 7 said. Hold on, child. Y'all know we do real research in real time. We finds the story in real time. All right. So this is what Shara 7 said. Hold on. This ain't the whole thing. This is a little 1-minute clip.
Meant to be smart. Not desperate. If you're desperate, don't claim me. I'm sorry. But if you're sitting out there, you learned everything from me. Did you learn how to be smart? Did you learn how not to be desperate? You didn't learn from me. You learned from whoever putting clips out on TikTok 30 seconds long. You didn't learn from me. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Did you learn from this channel or did you learn from 30-second clips on TikTok? Because I didn't put those out. You didn't learn from the YouTube channel? Did you learn over here? Did you learn what I said after 30 seconds? Did you hear what I said after sprinkle, sprinkle? Or before? Did you hear that? Did you hear when I said stop being desperate? Did you hear when I said don't be a pygmisha? Did you hear when I talked about background checks? Did you hear when I talked about all this other stuff? About not dealing with men if you have kids until they're old and grown enough to speak for themselves and be in school and whatnot. Did you not hear when I said all of that? Because you was not following the real account? Don't blame me. Uh-oh. I meant to be smart. Not desperate.
Well, we can't act like we don't. That was very specific. She was directly. There ain't no guess about who she talking about. Hold on, we got more clips.
You said somebody got married after 1 week. Did they need a green card, ma'am? Were they about to get kicked out the country or something? I don't see no reason to marry somebody after only knowing somebody a week. That's not smart. You said somebody got married after 1 week. Did they need a green card, ma'am? Were they about to get kicked out the country or something? I don't see no reason to marry somebody after only knowing somebody a week. That's not smart. You said somebody got married after 1 week. Did they need a...
But I understand why this sprinkle lady is coming for her. Because this is her whole brand, right? So the sprinkle girl, Shara or whatever, I don't watch her content, but I know the premise of what her content is about. I don't watch her though, because I'm not looking for no quote unquote high value man. I don't been there, done that. Okay, child. Y'all already know, the true night owls know, you know what I mean? I live in Cali. I used to model. I used to be in music videos. I used to deal with rich men. Okay? I prefer a man that has integrity, that has morals, that has values, and that treats me how I'm supposed to be treated. I don't care about how much money you have. I don't care about anything like that. I look for like what's within a person. So I don't look at this type of content because I just don't. But I know what the premise of her content is about, and I know that she teaches women to go for a high value man. Now, her coming after the ISIS girl, to some, it might seem like she's being harsh, but I understand why the sprinkle lady is coming for her, because it makes her brand look bad. It makes her brand look like, if you listen to this advice, you could be putting your children in danger. You could be, this is irresponsible advice. And anything that happens to ISIS, if she's saying that that's the advice she took, then it throws a monkey wrench in the brand that Sprinkle is building. So I get why she's separating herself. Like, hold up, you need to take accountability for the approach that you took to that situation, and you need to take accountability for moving so fast and not vetting your partner correctly and all of those things. And I think I did see that ISIS, I guess she responded, and now I understand what ISIS was responding to. So there was a message, hold on, let me see if I could pull it up. There was a message that ISIS had wrote to somebody, and she was claiming like, oh, I did get a background check on my husband and woo-doo-woo. So hold on, let me go to, hold on, wait. And I guess this was her response to the Sprinkle lady. Hold on. This is what she said. She said, I'm so tired of the misinformation. My daughters are his biological children. This could have happened to anyone. Also, I knew this man for a 6-month period before I became his wife. Yes, I ran a background check. I'm not silly enough to date online without one. He had no prior charges other than some speeding tickets. I saw every speeding, ticket he ever had before I agreed to go on a first date. My dating profile said I had no children. I never married for money. I married because he pretended to have all the same values as me. I married to build a family on a solid foundation. He never showed signs of being a weirdo, but yes, I'll take the blame. There's also another content creator who has 2 daughters by her husband, their biological father. Would she also be silly pick Misha if her... Would she also be... Hold on. What'd that say? Would she also be of... I guess she was basically saying, would this other content creator who has 2 children by her husband be a pick Misha if something happened to their daughter or whatever? But so it's getting messy. It's getting messy. It is getting very, very messy. So y'all hit the like button, hit the share button. This video is getting, this topic is getting so much attention. I seen Abba and Preach do a video on this. Like, a lot of people from the red pill community have done videos on this. It's all over TikTok as well. And now you have Sprinkle responding. You got ISIS responding to her. You got the niece coming out. You got a whole can of worms that is only starting to like come out. Like, this is not the end of this story. I predict by tomorrow or the next day, we gonna hear from the husband. Oh, and the dating profile. So people also, they found their dating profiles on eHarmony. People were able to find the dating profiles and pull up the dating profiles. I never want to go viral. Like, I just don't want to go viral in this type of way ever, because people will dissect your life. They will dissect your life to the fullest. They pulled up her dating profile. They pulled up his dating profile. They went and searched him. And then people were pointing out the fact that he's on his profile, I think he was like 40. It said he was like 47. Hold on. On his profile, it said he was like, I think at this time, I think he was 47 on the profile. And then people had like pointed out how he was seeking women from 18. Wait, which way my hand gotta go? Wait, there we go. He was seeking women 18 to 40. They was going down the rabbit hole on TikTok. So if you want to look at this any further and you want to follow the story anymore, type in TikTok, trophy wife, and everything that you want to know gonna come up.
Don't tell people you got kids. That's the stupidest thing you can do, because they start to treat you a certain way. And like I said, there's weirdos out there. Single moms need to stay quiet when they're dating. And they need to date for a long time until the man has fallen in love with them, gave them money, invested in them heavily. Then when she deems him worthy to be serious or exclusive, then she can tell him.
Both of them are putting out dangerous rhetorics to young women. Both of them are putting out dangerous, and now I could be objective. I'm not into neither one of their fan bases. I don't give a damn. Both of them are putting out dangerous rhetorics to young women. Lying about your kids to make a man fall in love with you is horrible advice. Now, the part of her advice that I agree with is nobody should be meeting your kids until you are absolutely sure about that relationship and you have vetted that person and you have known them for a period of time, and you've checked and you've done background checks on them and you've vetted them. And then, after a long vetting process, after spending a lot of time with them one-on-one, then once you are solidified, then you can introduce them to your children after a vetting process. But I would never lie to no man about my child. Ever. I would never make a man think that I don't have a child. I have a daughter. This is what it is. Okay? And on top of my daughter that I have biologically, I also help and support my uncle's daughter. My uncle is deceased. He passed away. My mom is her caregiver. And I also help my mother with my little cousin. And anybody who I date knows that I have a biological child. And then I have my uncle's daughter I treat her like my baby too. You know what I'm saying? But lie to a man, make him fall in love with you. Please. Please. It is never that serious. It is never that deep. It is never that deep. So, anyway, all of that is a mess. That's crazy. Who else responded?
My biggest question with the whole sprinkle sprinkle movement is, where is her husband?
Let's see. Anyway, it's a lot going on TikTok, child. Ooh, it's a rabbit hole on TikTok. I see why a lot of people say that they don't go on TikTok, because you click on one video and then you start searching stuff and then you end up down a whole rabbit hole. You end up down a whole rabbit hole, child. Anyways, like the video, share the video. I'll text to y'all on